We got bread.
Yeah, let's eat it.
Kinda. That is part of the reading today.
Look at it. Dun, 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 dun. Let's get started. Dun, 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 dun. Cut out your bread, Tumpy.
So the gospel readings today starts out with two men talking about how Jesus made himself known to them in the breaking of the bread. This is after the resurrection. So Jesus had already come back from the dead, but not everybody knew this yet. So people were like, hey, what's going on? I heard Jesus is back, but, let's talk about this stuff. Now trace out 2 pieces of bread on your phone. So a lot of people in the town were talking about Jesus and about him being taken away and being crucified, and even a little bit about the resurrection. And 2 men were recounting their story. They were telling their story. While they were hanging out talking about Jesus, he appeared in front of them again and said, peace be with you. They were a little bit scared. They were a little shaken up by that. And Jesus said, why are you troubled?
Peace be with you again.
And Jesus said, what questions do you have? Look at my hands. Look at my feet. Truly, it's me. He's like, hey, I'm here. He said, touch me and see. Because a ghost does not have flesh and bones the way you and I do, right? So they were afraid. They thought, maybe this is a ghost. Maybe it's a ghost. And Jesus said, why are you troubled? Here, touch me. He said, touch my hands. I'm a real person. I have hands. Touch me. I'm not a ghost.
How did Jesus know that they were troubled?
How do you think?
Wait, they were troubled?
Yeah, they were a little scared. They were worried.
About what?
Well, about this person just appearing in front of them, and the person looked like Jesus. They're like, wait a second. Who's this person that just appears in front of us and looks like Jesus? Is it a ghost? Is it the spirit of Jesus? Is it the ghost of Jesus? They don't know. Jesus said, hey, I'm not a spirit. I'm real. Hey, I'm flesh and bone like you. So they were totally amazed. They were like, what? Jesus is here. Hey, this is so cool. And he's like, dude, I'm hungry. You got any food to eat? I mean, really, if you had died for 3 days and came back, you'd probably be hungry too. So he wanted to eat with them. It also shows that he's real. He's real flesh because ghosts don't eat. So he's like, let's eat. And what did they give him? They gave him a piece of baked fish. Okay, so this is really, really cool that they gave him baked fish. Maybe it's all that they had available, but I think there's more to it than that. I mean, really, Jesus talked to a bunch of fishermen. Fishermen were the first people to follow Jesus. He confronted them. He found them so often on the water while they were fishing. He tells them, cast out your nets to the left side of the boat and you will catch fish. And he says to them, when you follow me, you will no longer fish for fish, you'll be fishers of men.
Take one of your dots and put them on.
Rough side on there. Get in the center. Now put your piece of bread on the sticky part. This way it's all even. So these guys had fish and they gave them fish. And then he said to them, these are my words that I spoke to you while I was still with you, that everything written about me in the law of Moses and in the prophets and Psalms must be fulfilled. And then Jesus says, thus it is written that the Christ would suffer and rise from the dead on the 3rd day, and that repentance for the forgiveness of sin would be preached in his name to all the nations, beginning from Jerusalem. And you are witnesses of these things. How cool is that?
Cool.
Yeah, so they would be amongst the first witnesses, starting from Jerusalem, going out to all the nations.
I'm sticking my one fish on top, and then you have it. 2. Jesus was made known in the breaking of the bread.